Welcome to Viewfinder TV. Today, we'll be lacing up our boots as we hunt for some amazing hidden gems. Follow our Viewfinder producers into the heart of Des Moines as they lay bare some of the most interesting local spots, from a secret gem to a unique joint in the selfie business. Hopefully, by the end, you'll find your own treasure at one of these select locations.
Hello everyone, my name is Linnea Hietala.
And I'm Kenzie Brown, and welcome to Viewfinder TV.
Today's episode is all about the hidden gems of Des Moines, Iowa.
In our first segment, we will be visiting a quite literal hidden gem, Elevated Fitness. It's an exclusive gym here in Des Moines, hidden above a bakery.
The phrase, if you don't know, you won't know, applies as well to Elevation Fitness in Des Moines, Iowa as any gym I have ever been to, and I speak from experience when I say it is worth the hunt. The first time I ever went looking for Elevation Fitness, it was because of a mythically hot sauna, but more on that later. First, the street view. Elevation Fitness is a well-kept secret in large part because of this chocolate shop, Stam. It acts as coverage for the iron paradise that can be found if one knows where to go and how to get in. The first time I went, the employees of the chocolate shop let me in when I rang the doorbell, which I'm sure they will do for you too if need be. But now I have my own key card. I got all the way up the stairs and into the waiting area, but couldn't get past the double doors. Just as I had gotten ready to give up, I got a call back from gym owner Matthew Dowdy. He wasn't far away and offered to swing by to show me the space. And that's the true story of how I found one of the best hole-in-the-wall gyms in America. A gym with the kind of character that Elevation Fitness has is a reflection of the character who dreamt it up. Matthew Dowdy grew up being shaped by hard work and fitness, and he has devoted his adult life to bringing that force to others in the form of a no-frills, no-excuses gym, and he spoke passionately throughout our interview together.
You know, I grew up all types of athletics. I grew up in, straight up kind of what you call it, an iron paradise. I grew up in gyms where, you walked in, it smelled like sweat. You knew people worked hard, things like that.
When someone as powerful and kind-hearted as Matthew Dowdy devotes their life to something like Elevation Fitness, it creates a family. Matt had this to say when asked about all the love and support he sees from his members and what they mean to him.
I always gravitate back towards the community that comes into this small space, A lot of members. Over the years, it's become this super cool group of people. And that is in any regard. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with finances or what they drive, where they live, anything like that. Like, it kind of has come down to like the genuineness of the people that come here. And as you said, I am here to help people get to their goals, specific goals. But my philosophy is that there's so much more to fitness than just what your body looks like, right? It is mental health.
They say there is magic in the walls of a place like this, and that couldn't be more obvious when you are inside Elevation Fitness.
Yeah, so for the most part, it's a wall where people can write certain quotes that, might get them fired up or whatever. Some of these have been here for many, many years. As I had mentioned, some of these have been X'd out by people, for various reasons. But I would say, personally, I have two favorite ones on here. And the first one is the Henry Rollins quote. No such thing as spare time, no such thing as free time, no such thing as downtime. All you got is lifetime, go. And then the other one is the 168 hours in a week, 40 at work or school, 56 sleeping, 72 left over. Are you seriously saying you can't find 3 hours a week to work out? So, those are kind of meatheady and, kind of raw, maybe even a little rude, but those are the ones that personally hit with me.
When Matt suggested his idea for the final portion of our interview together, and he got the smirk on his face that he did, I knew I was in trouble. You said you had one more thing for me?
Yep, we got to, it isn't an elevated fitness workout without the sauna at the end, so
right.
We're going to get in that hot box and we're going to kind of go through that for a minute.
Absolutely, that sounds great. Ah, the sauna. The whole reason I came looking for this treasure in the first place. The sauna has been a place that I can clear my mind and cleanse my body for years. It has also been a place where I've gotten to know people well. Something about shared suffering helps bonds form fast. If you get the chance to come and sit with Matt, it is well worth the journey. They don't make them like that very often anymore.
Yeah, we'll get it all edited out, and I'm sure we'll get it on YouTube or something.
Yeah, cool.
For sure.
What a cool spot for a private workout. That looks pretty intense.
Maybe you're wanting a more unconventional workout. In our next segment, we're going to be visiting Ironside Axe Club, a club where you can try your own hand at throwing knives and axes.
Get in touch with your inner Viking at Ironside Axe Club located in West Des Moines. Lisa Gardner, owner and longtime axe thrower, says,
So the community here is very laid back, it's very accepting. Everybody is welcome. You walk in the door and it's like, we hope that you feel greeted like an old friend or part of the family.
All ages are welcome to try their hand at throwing knives, regular axes, or big axes, or you could even join a league.
The atmosphere, it's relaxing. I can come here, have a drink, throw some axes, have some friends here, and just have a good time.
If you've never thrown before, don't worry. The employees at Ironside have got your back.
Okay, so we do use real axes and they're sharp, so we want people to keep their fingers off the blade of the axe. It's very simple though. We start you with a two-handed throw. You're gonna start one hand on the bottom, one hand on the top, one foot in front of the other in a nice, comfortable stance. One hand over the other. You're gonna point the blade of the axe at the target. You're gonna bring it up over your head.
And throw. Whether or not you're throwing or observing the fun, Ironside is known for their great community atmosphere.
I recommend coming to Ironside because it's just such a warm community and it's very supportive, and you can literally walk up to anybody and just talk to them. It's really fun.
Despite the various activities Ironside has to offer, it's still growing and expanding.
We have 2 venues that are under the Ironside name, and then we have a licensee that's out in Newton. We are opening a coffee shop soon. That's kind of exciting. It's not there yet, but we will be opening a coffee shop in our facility that will be open for all the time.
And if you don't enjoy the experience, satisfaction is guaranteed.
You come in, you throw, and 99% of the time, you can get it and you can do it well. That 1% of the time, if you really just don't like it, we'll give you we're not going to charge you to try it out.
Are you ready to be a Viking?
Absolutely, come out and throw with us.
Wow, that definitely seems like a great way to release stress or anger. But maybe axe throwing isn't quite your thing.
For a different type of therapy, unwind with a book and beverage at Reading in Public, a brand new bookstore and cafe right here in Des Moines.
Looking for a hot coffee and a good book? Look no further than Reading in Public right here in Valley Junction. Here, you can find books spanning all kinds of genres and all kinds of locally made coffee. Today, we'll be talking to the owner of Reading in Public, Lindsay Murray, about what's it like operating a small business here in Des Moines and what Reading in Public is all about.
My favorite thing is seeing people come in and seeing the space for the first time, or being a return customer and just seeing the awe on people's face and just getting to be the one facilitating that delight in people is very fulfilling. We specifically picked Valley Junction for a few reasons. One, because it's a district of just small businesses, and I wanted a place where there was a sense of community amongst business owners, but then also from a business standpoint, wanting somewhere that has organic foot traffic, where we get a lot of people because they're just walking by and seeing, oh, what is this? And so they come in.
This Reading in Public regular was happy to express his thoughts on the store.
What I think was unique about this place is that Lindsay and her staff really do a great job curating the collection. Because there's not a ton of space in here, so they have to be very specific about what they keep in stock. And I think the fact that they purposefully gear their selection to underrepresented communities and try to extend it beyond just being kind of a catch-all bookstore. They have a real specific vibe here, and they complement that with some of the artwork. So I think that really helps set them apart.
We asked Murray what her favorite book in the section was. Who better to trust than the owner herself?
My favorite book is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I just wrote Shelf Talker, and I plan to sell a bunch of it because it's my love of books is encapsulated within that book, and I have a tattoo of it on my arm. I will never stop loving it. I've read, it's a series, but you can read them in any order, and so it never gets old.
One can assume Murray's creative background in graphic design and painting influenced the store's unique layout.
I like to separate hardcovers from paperbacks because visually, and I'm a graphic designer, so I think and do things visually. So all of the hardcovers are on one side, all the paperbacks are on a separate side, because if you combine them, you know, they're different sizes and it's too much visual mess. This side it is fiction, the other side is nonfiction, and then there are paperbacks on the intersections.
If you plan on staying in and reading the book you picked up, you might grab a coffee to go along with it. When looking at the menu, you'll find a variety of drinks.
I am very proudly Asian owned, and so a lot of the drinks on our menu, either they're not there yet or they're starting to be introduced. The most popular drink by far is called Hive Mind. It's one of our specialty drinks that our baristas have put together.
And business has been good.
So people are very enthusiastic, and they come out. Our opening day was so busy, and it just continues to be busy every weekend.
Murray thinks that's because Des Moines loves books.
I've learned since opening that Des Moines people and other people in central Iowa are just so hungry for bookstores.
After enjoying a good book and beverage from Reading in Public, you can swing by Selfie World, the location that we'll be visiting in our next segment.
Either by yourself or with friends, this is a great location for self-care or just a good time.
As the pandemic hits, many people lost their jobs, some were laid off, and businesses had no choices but to shut down. And that is how Ashley Driscoll came up with the idea of Selfie World. Selfie World is also known as a selfie museum. However, it is best to refer to it more as a photography studio because when you enter, you are given a ring light, a Bluetooth clicker, and then you can explore around. They have about 30 different sets where you can take pictures. This photography studio allows users to create unique and interesting content that can be shared on social media, making it an invaluable tool for content creators.
So Selfie World is a do-it-yourself photography studio. It's also known as a selfie museum, but I like to refer to it as a photography studio. And it's do-it-yourself because we just provide the backdrops, the lighting, and you come in and you do it yourself. So we have professional photographers use it, musicians, people create music videos, social media content, or you can just come in and you can use a ring light and take selfies and have fun with your friends. We also do birthday parties and events. So it's really like a photography studio and event space in one. The creative field has always been like what I've been interested in. I went to school for graphic design, photography, always advertising. I was always in that kind of a field. But like what I found I loved most about photography was creating sets. So I had my own studio in my home and I would create mini session themed sets, and that was really fun for me. But in 2020, when COVID hit and all of the weddings started canceling, I had weddings booked for the year and they all had to cancel and wanted obviously their deposits back. So I was a single mom and I didn't think I would be able to make my house payment with no money coming in. So I actually had to sell my house, and I used the money that I made from selling my house to buy a lot in hopes of building a house in the future, but then also to start this business.
The business is very risky, and for these reasons, people might often ask whether the business is profitable or not. And especially in the startup phase, there is the risk of failure, the need for capital, the possibility of the market changing quickly. This can make it difficult to determine whether the business is profitable or not. But that was not the case for Selfie World.
We started, just to give reference, we started the first Selfie World at Merle Hay Mall. We're now in Valley West Mall, but we started that first Selfie World for $40,000. Like I said, I sold my house, bought a lot for $70,000, and the rest of the money, I literally had only about $40,000 to start this business. So we were all in around that much. In our first month, we did $50,000 in sales, and the second month we did $60,000. So it was very profitable.
Selfie World has been through its ups and downs, but the good news is that it has been very successful so far. See you at Selfie World.
Thank you to the Viewfinder TV producers for allowing us to come with them through all these hidden gems here in Des Moines.
We hope that this episode has encouraged you to visit one of these spots or maybe even find a new one. Thank you for tuning in this evening. I'm Linnea Hietala.
And I'm Kenzie Brown, and this has been Viewfinders TV.